Restarting it. It started already.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bearded Bros Wrestling. Sorry about that, I was going over my notes.
Trying to change his notes because he had a detail wrong that I had right.
No, not that. It was just, a little mistyped, that's all. But anyways, welcome to the AEW Wrestledream review/rating video for Bearded Bros Wrestling. We have been going at it for a while now, especially Kylie there. She is not feeling great, and she's going through it right now with her pregnancy. So,
As you can hear.
yes.
I sound like a squeak toy.
It's currently 2 o'clock in the morning.
It is.
We started at 6 p.m.
Indeed.
And the media scrum is probably still going on. We got tired of it and turned it off.
Yeah, we were trying to listen through the end because normally they go over, what the attendance was and all that type of stuff. But I promise you, I think Tony had every single wrestler that was on that card in there for the media scrum. And so, I mean, it started at like 11:15, and we just turned it off like 10 minutes ago.
And it's almost 2
And
o'clock.
it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So,
1:53 to be exact.
yeah. So, and big weekend for me also. Friday night,
No one cares about this.
stayed up really late. Saturday morning, woke up really early to go to the Ole Miss game where they played LSU and watched Ole Miss get the win, big time win. Ole Miss stormed the field, really fun. Then woke up this morning, went to church, and I have been up ever since. I'm really tired. I'm ready to go to bed. I have work tomorrow.
At 11:30.
So, with that being said, let's get right into this. We're going to start with 0 Hour, the pre-show.
How you good about
It started off with a video tribute to Antonio Inoki, which is why this show is happening. It was pretty much a tribute show to Antonio Inoki.
They gave flowers to his son and grandson, I think it was.
No, it was his two grandsons.
And they showed Christian Cage.
Well, it was Inoki's two grandsons, and then they had Rocky Romero, and they had Shibata out there because Shibata was his student, and Rocky Romero also was one of his students, and so they kind of honored them as well. Gave flowers.
All I cared about was Christian Cage showing up during it.
Yeah, and then it was funny because in the media scrum afterwards, they acknowledged that, and Christian Cage was like, "Yeah, they were his grandchildren. I'm always watching," so that was hilarious. But yeah, I immediately feared for Inoki's grandchildren when he popped up. But then we got into the first match of the evening, which was Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, I don't know.
Sure.
Y'all know who I'm talking about. If you watch wrestling, probably, maybe, I don't know. And Mercedes Martinez and Diamante taking on the team of Athena, Billy Starks, Keith Lee, and Kojima. And it was a fun little match. We want bread chants is how it started for Kojima.
Then JR said he wanted ribs.
Yeah, that was great. I remember Athena hit a really nice German suplex onto Diamante out of the electric chair position. That was really nice.
And Athena stepped up to Shane Taylor.
Yeah. And then Shane Taylor and Keith Lee got in the ring together, and that was fantastic.
Big meaty men
that's
slapping
right.
meat.
Slapping man meat.
Those are some big old men.
Yeah.
Well,
So what?
they said it first.
Taz said it first. So.
It was Taz or JR that said it.
But then Keith Lee hit a Hurricanrana, which it wasn't perfect.
But it was impressive.
Let's just be real,
Keith Lee.
dude. Keith Lee's a large man.
Yeah, he makes me look small.
And the fact that he can get up and do that type of stuff in the ring is incredible. I still wish that he was pushed more in AEW. And I get it, you can't push everybody. But, we complained about how he was pushed in WWE.
And they push him even less.
And they pushed him even less in AEW. So that's a little bit.
I don't remember him being on a WWE pre-show.
Yeah, when he was in WWE, he was like
On the show.
Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, So yeah, but
Never beat him, but he was competing with him.
also Kojima hit those rapid fire chops on Keith Lee, and Athena hit the Eclipse on that Lee Moriarty guy or whatever. Did I say that Kojima hit Keith Lee with those chops?
Yeah, I was like, that's not right, but which one?
I meant Lee Moriarty or the other Lee. How about that?
Little Lee.
The Little Lee, yeah.
That's what we call him.
Which, after Athena hit him with the Eclipse, that led to Keith Lee hitting, was it the Spirit Bomb? Did he hit the Spirit Bomb? Was that what it was?
No, I don't think.
I don't
I think it was
remember.
his other finishing move.
Okay.
It was like the jackhammer.
Yeah.
Not the jackhammer.
Kojima won it after that with a lariat by pinning the other Lee. And, I mean, it was a decent little match. It wasn't really anything special. It was something kind of just, let's get the fans warmed up.
Let's put a bunch of people together.
Yeah. Let's get them on the show in some form, some way. I gave it 2.25 stars.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really anything significant, really.
All I cared that Keith Lee was in the match.
Yeah, that's and Athena. I like Athena.
Yeah, she's okay.
She's okay. She literally has.
I don't like women's wrestling.
She literally has the coolest finisher in all of professional wrestling. It's when she jumps off the top
I
rope.
wouldn't go that. I know what her finisher is. It's the Eclipse. Oh, correction. It's something else in AEW, but it's the jumping stunner.
Yeah. And it looks really, really cool.
If the opponent takes it, right?
But that's not on her, though.
I know.
Anyway, the next match was, surprise, surprise, Josh Barnett was on the show, which, in case you don't know, he was supposed to be Antonio Inoki's protege in New Japan. He's also the youngest UFC heavyweight champion, and he's like a legit bad,
Bad Billy Gunn.
yeah, bad Billy Gunn, and he was also a commentator in New Japan with JR for a while, but he was taking on Claudio tonight, and I thought it was a fun match. It was more of an MMA style match.
Very hard hitting.
Yeah, definitely. But it wasn't MMA rules, but it was like they were doing a lot of the MMA.
It was striking.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah, kind of like the strong style type wrestling. John Moxley was on commentary for this. He said a few bad words.
A few?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Not as much as later on.
right, and then he mentioned how him and Josh Barnett had a good relationship because
They were training
partners. Yeah, training partners and everything. And the reason why Josh accepted this match was because he saw a lot more potential in Claudio than what had been brought out of him so far.
Yeah. There's a lot of respect shown.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Josh put Claudio over massively after the match, and they even teased maybe that this wasn't the only time they fought.
Anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
Claudio won, of course. We
Claudio
didn't say
won.
that.
I gave it 2.75 stars.
I gave it 2.5.
That's fair. I didn't really think that it was supposed to be
Amazing.
right.
It was in honor of Antonio. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that his name?
Antonio Inoki?
Yeah, I said it right.
Yes.
I couldn't remember.
But yeah, it was decent, hard hitting. Some people probably won't like it because it wasn't a typical like Claudio style match. But I enjoyed it. I thought that it did what it was supposed to do. They put Claudio over a little bit more.
Of course. They're building him up big time right now.
Yeah, and I like
Even
that.
though he just lost to Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, just because you lose doesn't mean you're buried. So I think the AEW has done a really good job of keeping Claudio like at a decent level, and also keeping Eddie Kingston at that level as well. But next was the hometown boy, Nick Wayne, taking on Luchasaurus. And they started off with
Nick Wayne died.
Yeah.
Nick Wayne
I
just
mean,
died.
yeah. It was a squash match.
All I remember from the match is the chokeslam today.
Yes. Yeah. Luchasaurus
Over the top rope.
went over the top rope and chokeslammed him on the side of the apron, which, in case you guys didn't know,
Hardest part of the ring.
hardest part of the ring. I gave it 1.5 stars because, I mean, there's really not much
to rate.
Yeah, there's not much to rate. I mean, Luchasaurus is a monster. He's a dinosaur,
Nick Wayne
dragon,
is small.
whatever. And yeah, Nick Wayne is a very small man. And there's more to come with Nick Wayne later in this
Which is
show.
kind of ironic, considering that match.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Next was TMDK taking on the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn for the AEW Trios Championship. So let us know you don't care about the Trios title without telling us you don't care about the Trios title. Let's put them on the pre-show.
With no build-up.
No build-up at all. So
They debuted to a Friday or Saturday. It was like yesterday or the day before or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have much notes on this match. I just wrote down there was a three-way scissor from the Acclaimed and Daddy.
Like always.
One of the guys from TMDK hit a really nice German on the Billy Gunn, and the Acclaimed won. It was one of those matches that it was just kind of there to fill up time.
Yeah.
You know, nothing. It wasn't anything bad, but
It gives the crowd something to watch while they're waiting on the show to start.
Right. It wasn't anything bad, but it wasn't anything that was like, that was a really good match. You know,
You won't go watch it again. You won't.
No, I mean it
You
means
won't
nothing.
remember it happened.
I gave it 2 stars.
1.75.
All right. Cool.
Just because of the Acclaim.
Fair enough.
That's
The Acclaimed have arrived. And that was the pre-show. They did a whole lot of videos putting over the matches for the main
a lot
card.
of interview. Well, a lot of
There was some interviews.
talking.
Oh, dude, what was that one interview with Ricky Starks where he walked off and he was like, what was it he said?
So sweet, but
But so's dumb.
Something like
yeah,
that.
and then he was like, God bless her.
It was like
her-
Lance. Something.
It was like I think her name was like Lexi or something like that, and he called her Lex. I don't remember, but yeah.
Well, Renee, because Renee, John Mox would have killed him.
Yeah. Well, she was out there by the ring anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that don't mean nothing because the other dude walked back there.
True. That's true.
I don't remember his name.
But to get into the main card, the main show, the pay-per-view itself, we opened up. We figured this was going to be the opening match. MJF versus The Righteous for the ROH tag titles. MJF cut a promo before the match. He called one of them fat and one of them a white guy with dreads.
Dutch was the fat guy. The white guy with dreads was Vincent.
Thank you for the clarification, because I honestly did not remember.
All I know because they're supposed to team with Bray Wyatt.
I didn't even know the big guy. I knew the guy with dreads because of me watching ROH back in the day, and I knew he was. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he either feuded with the Righteous or he was a part of the Righteous, or I mean the Kingdom, or maybe it was both. I think he feuded with them at one point and then ended up joining them.
Or was a part of them that feuded with him.
Yeah, something like that. But MJF hit the little handshake, the whole sportsmanship, handshake and eye poke. The Righteous went to cheat, but MJF grabbed and, what was his name?
Vincent.
Grabbed and squeezed Vincent's.
No, square.
Huh?
His no square.
Yeah. His.
Vincent's Johnson.
Yeah. And,
but he no-sold it pretty good afterwards.
He did. Yeah, he sold it for like a solid 2 seconds.
But then he no-sold it afterwards.
Yeah.
When MJF eventually let go, he was fine.
Yeah. And MJF also mentioned body slamming the big guy. What was his name?
Dutch.
And
think of Dutch Menzel.
Cool.
You don't know who that is
So
either?
anyway, he like went.
Pause. You don't know who that is?
I don't know.
Zeb Coulter.
Oh, Zeb Coulter. I know Zeb Coulter.
Okay, continue.
Anyway,
Unpause.
he was like building up to being able to body slam Dutch.
You're supposed to be an indie guy, man.
And I know, whatever. And he eventually finally did, got a massive pop, and then he delivered on his promise of shoving Vincent's head up Dutch's donkey, up his Billy Gunn. And after that, he hit the kangaroo kick, hit the heat check, and got the 1, 2, 3. It was it was fine. It was an okay match.
3 stars.
I gave it 2.75.
Yeah, that's a better one. It was. MJF was entertaining.
It was there.
MJF is always entertaining.
He really is. He really is.
He's always entertaining.
Oh, don't forget the part where MJF went to a hot tag.
And
To
nobody was there.
Yeah, I made the joke. It was the devil teaming with God.
The next match was Shibata taking on Eddie Kingston. and it was for the ROH World Championship.
This was another strong style.
And
there was another title. I forgot.
And the New Japan Strong Open Weight Championship.
It was another strong style match.
Yes,
it was just slapping.
Yeah, it was a lot of heavy strikes and submissions early on.
Yelling "Come on" at each other.
Come on. Shibata went with a whole lot of rapid submissions. Like he hit a lot back to back to back. I think it was like cattle mutilation, bow and arrow, and the seated, like that little seated side choke. Yes, Kyle?
So is the come on thing, is that like a New Japan thing?
It's a strong style thing.
Well,
Strong style
it's
thing?
really
Okay.
mostly Shinsuke. But,
That's
but
what I was
yes.
wondering, because I know that Shinsuke does it. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was like,
As Josh told me earlier, it's pretty much saying, "Come hit me harder,"
Yeah.
because you're not hitting me harder.
Yeah, that's what the strong style guys do. They're very stiff. So
And stiff means they actually hit you
yeah.
pretty hard, where it hurts.
crap out of it.
But then they started hitting each other again with chops and strikes. They exchanged blows and then they just collapsed.
For no reason.
Yeah. Eddie hit a nice, very nice half exploder, and then Shibata came back with an STO that looked really nice. But Eddie Kingston won with the powerbomb pin combo, and they shook hands afterwards, and
Code of honor.
everything was cool. Everything was cool, dude.
Because it's a Ring of Honor thing, you know, Code of Honor.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think also is, I mean, yeah, but I didn't think about that. But also, just the context of it all.
Usually Code of Honor's before the match, though.
Yeah, so.
I know something.
Good job, Dylan. But I gave it, huh?
I know it from that video that y'all sent me the other day. I don't know which one of y'all sent it to me. It was like Shinsuke Nakamura doing the ring.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like looking around like,
Just walking, handshaking
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah,
Even the ref.
yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
What'd you get the
I gave it 4 stars.
3.75?
Cool.
I just like them slapping each other really hard. I like big meaty men slapping meat.
Next, we had Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart for the TBS title. And I'm just going to say that Julia had a bad Billy Gunn entrance.
I love how that's the name we're calling it.
I mean, that was a great entrance.
I
her
missed the
Her
entrance.
entrance was great.
I love Julia Hart. I love the character. I love everything about it. I love the fact that they're pushing her. She didn't get it done, spoiler alert. She didn't win it tonight. But
They mentioned the streak too much.
it was a fantastic match. I mean, that was a great wrestling match.
The best women's match I've seen, even though he yelled at me for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been better. But it's Dylan. You don't watch women wrestling. So,
Facts.
but you know, they kind of told the story of powerhouse versus smaller person.
Because Julia Hart's very small compared to Chris Statlander.
But Chris Statlander went for a power bomb, and Julia countered it with a beautiful hurricanrana.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful hurricanrana, and then Chris hit a really nice suplex onto her. And then Julia hit that move where it was like Statlander was like kind of on the ground, and
Like,
then she like jumped up on her
Elbows and knees.
Yeah.
And then stepped on her and did a
and
senton.
did a senton. Yeah,
I thought she slipped.
that was a really nice move. But then I remember Chris hit that really like stiff knee also.
In the corner.
Huh?
Was she in the corner?
Yeah. She was like, she was either against the ropes or like in the corner or something like that. And then she hit her with the Blue Thunder Bomb. And of course, the Blue Thunder Bomb never finishes anybody. So, but then Julia went, what did I say in this? I said Julia went for the most, but Chris slapped her.
I don't know.
Post?
She went for the most, is what I said. Anyways, Julia was doing something, and Statlander slapped her.
Missed. She went for the. She went under.
Oh
ring,
yeah,
got
the mist.
I was like, what? What are you trying to type?
She went for the mist. Yeah,
And-
because she went to spit it at Statlander. Statlander smacked her.
And she spit it that way.
Yeah, and then that's when Statlander hit that deadlift German, and then Julia hit a overhead belly to belly from the top rope, and then there was that little
Drew McIntyre style.
Yeah, and there was that really cool looking spot where
Julia Hart upside
zoomed in.
down.
They zoomed in on her face, and Julia was upside down, just shaking her head no. That looked really
Hanging
cool.
in the tree of woe.
Yeah, that was really cool. And then Julia hit a moonsault from the top rope. Chris kicked out, and then Chris Statlander hit the tombstone not once but twice, and got the 1, 2, 3.
Technically, the first one was a tombstone. The second one was like a gotch tombstone.
Yeah. Like a packaged tombstone pile driver. But I thought this was a great match that showcased both women.
Mm-hmm.
I think both women looked really, really good in this match. I gave it 3.75 stars.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Look at you giving a women's match more than 3 stars.
Exactly.
Jeez.
I was gonna say 4, but no, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, see, I was going back and forth between 3.75 and 4. But it was a really, really good match. And
That shows you it was a good women's match when I give it 3.75 stars.
Facts.
Because I hate women's wrestling. Because
True.
they mostly suck.
True. But next was the 4-way tag team match for the
I have notes.
for the number 1 contender.
This is where I started my
This
notes.
is where he finally started taking notes. But this one was going to be Orange Cassidy and Hook.
Don't worry, it didn't last long. I didn't take notes a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't come prepared, but that's okay. Orange Cassidy and Hook took on the Guns, took on the Bucks, the Lucha Bros, in a fatal 4-way tag team match. The winner was number 1 contenders, and yeah, Dylan.
I don't have a lot of notes. My first note is Orange Cassidy unwrapped his hand again for no reason. They had a spot in the pre-show of Orange Cassidy and Hook in the locker room. Hook was eating a bag of something, and Orange Cassidy was wrapping his hand. Hook offered him one, so he unwrapped his hand, took one, put it in his mouth, started wrapping his hand. Hook took a bite, offered it back to Orange Cassidy. So he unwrapped his hand, and took another one, then started wrapping again. Then it just cuts away. So as soon as Orange Cassidy gets in the ring from a cool blind tag, he leaned under the second rope and reached and tagged somebody, and he gets in the ring. First thing he does, unwrap his hand. There was no reason to wrap that hand. It was so stupid, but it was hilarious.
Goofy Wrestling. Hook and Matt exchanged Northern Light suplex in the ring, and then
Do you remember?
Hook
And
Hook gave Nick
there you go.
a Northern Light suplex stereo to Matt giving Orange
There you go.
a Northern Light suplex.
He had the Young Bucks hitting the stereo Northern Light suplex and then argue with me because I told him he was wrong and told him that. So we went back and watched.
Yeah.
And don't forget the part where the Guns were both illegal men and tried to pin each other.
Yes, that was hilarious, dude. Because it was like the Guns had tagged in themselves to where they were both legal.
Mm-hmm.
One of the which one was it that tried to pin him, do you know?
I think Colton, I think that's his name, tried to pin Austin.
Yeah, and the referee was like, nah. But I mean, how funny would that have been
It happened in WWE and everybody was mad.
if that would have been the finish?
I want to say it was Billy Gunn that did that.
I would have laughed.
I would have too.
I'm just being real with you. I would have laughed, and I thought it would have been hilarious.
I think it should have happened. Like
But Penta came in with a nice hot tag. He hit that rolling DDT. Where he
It was
does
like
the
a-
front flip.
somebody monkey flipped him into the rolling DDT.
Yeah, and then he hit that backstabber in the corner.
And then I had that gory bomb and
Yes.
package pile driver
Yes,
combo
with
win.
Nick, right?
I think it was Nick. Nick or Matt jumped off the top rope
Yeah.
and kicked him in the head
Mm.
and made him fall into it.
Yep.
It was
that
great.
was really nice. And then there was just a whole bunch of super kicks after that.
Yes.
And the Bucks hit the BT trigger and got the win. Okay.
Sadly.
Now look, I'm just gonna say this. I love the Young Bucks. I love the Lucha Bros. I love the Guns. I loved everybody in this match. I really do. I love all of them. But I felt like, really, if we're just gonna be real,
Wrong team won.
the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros, neither one really needed this win. Hook and Orange Cassidy isn't really a tag team. Now, if they stay together moving forward, that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, the Guns needed this win. And I felt like it would have been really cool to see the Guns versus FTR
Mm-hmm.
for the titles. And I really felt like the Guns should have won. Regardless of how I feel about who should have won, I still gave this match 4 stars
4.25.
because it was a really good match.
The wrestling was great. It was entertaining.
Yeah, and I probably would have given it higher if either the Guns or Cassidy and Hook won.
Yeah.
Because I felt like the ending would have made more sense at that point. But regardless, it was a fantastic match. I thought it was really good. I gave it 4 stars. You gave it 4.25.
Yeah.
So yeah, good match. And then speaking of the Young Bucks, next we had the third member of the Hung Bucks.
Nope, can't call them that.
I got to get the Dark Order's permission first.
Exactly.
Adam Page was taking on Swerve.
And Swerve let Prince,
Swerve.
whatever his name is,
Swerve.
do his little dance.
Swerve.
Unlike
Swerve.
last week.
Swerve. And obviously, because they were in Washington, it was a very swerve-heavy town and
They
crowd as
hated
it should have
Hangman.
been. Hangman was not over at all in this match. Swerve, the first note I got for the match is Swerve hit a really nice, he rolled into the ring and hit Hangman with that drop kick.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
My first note is that the German suplex where Hangman landed on his feet.
Oh, yeah, that was a nice spot, too. Hangman hit that power bomb onto the apron.
Then spun it around and hit it on
in
the
the barricade,
apron.
yeah. And then he hit a
barricade.
beautiful moonsault.
Mhm.
Got back in the ring and hit a sit-out power bomb. And then he hit a suicide dive. And he just started going after Swerve's arm at that point.
And then, was it before or after he broke his arm that he did the step spot? I think it was before.
I think so.
Swerve had Hangman on the edge of the steps, about to hit a pile driver, but Hangman reversed it to the dead eye.
Yeah, on the steps. That was rough looking.
Yeah. That was rough looking at his other spot I talked about.
Yeah.
The arm spot.
Yeah.
Arm
But
hurts.
there was a really great sequence where Swerve hit a forearm. No, it was Hangman hit a forearm. Swerve countered back by hitting a spinning heel kick. And then that followed up with, I think it was Hangman hit a deadlift German.
Mm-hmm.
And then Swerve came back with that kind of rolling pay dirt. It was
Yeah.
like he rolled into a pay dirt. And then a swing over into that suplex where he kind of hopped over.
Yeah, he one hand cartwheeled,
Yeah.
scooped Hangman's arm around his own neck
Mhm.
while scooping Hangman's head into his arm and rolled into a suplex.
Mhm.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it really was. Swerve hit a double stump from the top. He hit a running kick to the back of the head. That looked very beautiful and got a very near fall. And I, for a second there, I thought that might have been it. But that's actually whenever Hangman, it was after that Hangman hit the dead eye on the steps. Hangman went for the buckshot. Swerve countered. He then, I'm pretty sure, broke Hangman's arm.
He did the Penta spot where he traps one arm, gets the other arm over,
Mm-hmm.
but he stomped the bicep of the other arm, and we heard a crack.
Yeah, it looked and sounded rough. Now, I don't know if maybe, there was a slap of the leg to make it sound like that.
Or they piped in a noise
Right, I
or
don't
something,
know, but it sounded pretty accurate to me.
and it sounded just in time with the stomp.
Yeah. So, I mean, if Swerve pulled that off, he did a heck of a job. Or Hangman, either one. But then it was after that
Hangman didn't have an arm to slap with.
you're right. Swerve hit that double stump to the apron.
Mm-hmm.
Followed that up with a 450 to the arm, and I swear to you, I thought that was it.
I did too.
I thought it was over.
When that 450 happened, I thought that was it.
Yeah, Hangman kicked out though, and at that point I was like, "Dear Lord, Hangman is going to beat Swerve in Washington."
I was hoping he would.
And then eventually Hangman hit the buckshot, but he couldn't cover him because of his
He was in
arm.
so much pain.
Yeah. So when he finally got to the pin, is it Prince Nana? Is that his name? Sure.
Prince
He,
N is all I know.
Sure. He put his foot on the rope, and then
I think it's Nani.
Nani,
Maybe.
Nana, something like that.
Nay. Watch me woo.
the last meeting the other day. But Hangman went for the buckshot again. Swerve countered, hit him with an illegal weapon.
It was the headband with the jewels in it.
That's right. Hangman kicked out. Swerve hit Hangman with 2 kicks to the back of the head, hit his finisher, and got a big-time dub. It was a fantastic match. I mean, Hangman is one of the best in AEW. Swerve, one of the best in AEW. I gave it 4.75.
I had 4.
I thought it was fantastic.
I don't think it was better than the tag team match, though.
I did. That's okay. Everybody has a different opinion. But I thought that it was...
Usually our ratings aren't that far apart.
I know. Honestly,
I think I was more upset because you won the prediction card than anything. I think that came through in the rating.
Yeah, I think so too, probably. But I
thought
this was one of the... I mean, I'm going to be real with you. Most of my ratings are really high.
They're all great matches.
Yeah. But I
the main
think,
card was.
Right. I thought that it was... On just about any other card, this would have been match of the night.
Yeah.
But this card was just insane. Next, we had Wheeler Yuta versus Ricky Starks.
Oh, I have a piece of knowledge that you didn't know because you were in the other room.
Okay.
This is Wheeler Yuta's first singles match on the AEW pay-per-view.
Really?
Yes.
Ain't that something?
John Moxley was on commentary and told us about that.
Cool. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that.
But he lost, of course.
Of course he did. It started off with some chain wrestling, and then they started slapping the bull crap out of each other.
Those are my 2 notes. I have no more notes.
That's it?
That's it.
Well, I wrote down that Starks hit an absolutely beautiful stun gun on the ropes. He hit the new school, where it was pretty much like Undertaker's old school, except he was like strutting.
And he had some flair, and he walked across the whole ring. On one side.
The one side of the ring.
Big Bill came out eventually.
Big Bill did come out.
And John Moxley just watched him, but John Moxley didn't care.
Right. Yeah, because it's Wheeler Yuta.
If it was anybody else in the Combat Club, he would have got up. But no, it was Wheeler Yuta, so I was like, it's okay.
Yeah. Ricky hit a spear. He hit his finishing move, and he won. Not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, it was fine. I gave it 3 stars.
3.25.
3.25? That's fair. That's fair.
Mainly because Ricky Starks is fun to watch.
Ricky Starks is really good. He is going to be a star, and they need to continue pushing him.
Whether Yuta will not be.
Well, if they pushed him better, then he could be.
They won't push him better until he's out of the combat.
I know, but and think about the pop whenever he finally turns his back on him.
Exactly.
But
I would love Wheeler Yuta.
But like when Wheeler first came up, dude,
he was in Best Friends, wasn't he?
Honestly, I can't remember, to be completely honest with you. It's been a while.
So I think the Best Friends and the Combat Club are feuding.
I remember he had a match. Who was it with? I don't remember exactly who it was with. I feel stupid right now, but I'm just really tired.
It's now 2:30.
But it was like he was bleeding like a stuffed pig, as JR used to say. And that he made himself a star that night.
That's probably John Moxley or Brian Danielson.
See, I'm going. Yeah,
because they were like, you can't be with us until you bleed with us.
Yeah. I think it was Brian Danielson though. I don't remember.
That match was probably so great because of Brian Danielson.
Wheeler Yuta's fantastic. Okay. You just don't know because you haven't watched AEW as long as I have.
I watched a little bit of the pandemic era.
Brian Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, we don't have any notes for this match because we were just in shock.
Well, I've actually got some notes on this, but I will say this: it won't do it any justice because I will say this: for most of the match, I kind of just spaced out.
If you go back and watch the live stream, we sit here and just stare for like 5-10 minutes because we were just enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic match.
It was beautiful.
There wasn't a single strike in this match until probably 5 or 6 minutes into it.
Probably longer than that.
Maybe even longer than that.
Because I was in awe of all the wrestling holds they were doing.
Yeah, because my boy Dillion here ain't never seen a wrestling match like that.
No.
So this was his first time watching Zack Sabre Jr.
I grew up on WCW, WWE, TNA.
So this was something new to him.
I loved it.
It was great. It was great, and I'm going to show you more.
I probably drooled during that part. Honestly, I was just like.
But then Zack Sabre kind of Pete Dunned Bryan
don't
Danielson
remind
and
me.
started grabbing his fingers.
That was bad.
That was. But
He
Bryan,
did focus on the wrist area of Bryan.
Yeah.
Because he had surgery and put a rod in his arm or something.
Yeah, it was like But Bryan hit his little turnbuckle spot, but instead of when he jumped off, instead of running hitting the clothesline, he let him come to him and he put him in a single leg crab.
Yeah. He rolled into the single leg crab.
Yeah. And then Bryan hit a very vicious dragon screw.
Oh yeah.
On Zack Sabre, that was nasty.
This is the match John Moxley said a lot of bad words.
It is, yeah.
He said the very, very bad word.
He said the F word during this match.
He said GD.
He said GD.
And we just like, what?
And we were like, whoa. All right, Mr. Moxley. But Zack Sabre did his typical, where he stands over him and twists their neck. Bryan had Sabre in the Tree of Woe, kicked him and hit him with an elbow.
Put him up on top of the rope, just
started hitting him on the top rope, yep. And then they exchanged strikes on the top rope and submissions on the top rope. And then Bryan hit a avalanche butterfly suplex that looked absolutely beautiful. And then they just kept on countering one another on the mat.
And then they eventually got Zack Sabre Jr. eventually got him into a figure four heel hook.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they were just sitting each other, staring each other in the eyes, and then just started smacking each other.
Yeah. Yep. It was so what led up to that was Bryan hit his corner drop kick, and then Zack countered, went for a pin, and then Bryan countered the pin into cattle mutilation, but then Zack countered again and was bending Bryan's arm backwards, and then Bryan countered into a heel lock, and then they turned that into the figure four.
And then he put his arms in the figure four, pulling Bryan to him.
Yeah.
And they were just sitting there staring at each other for a bit, and then Bryan smacked him, and he smacked him back.
Yeah. And then Zack hit a beautiful, it was like a tilt-the-world Falcon arrow.
Yeah.
And Zack just started going after Bryan's arm. He went after his arm pretty much the entire match.
Is this the match where they just got pin, bridge,
Yes.
pin, bridge?
Yeah.
Across the whole ring.
Yep. Yeah. And then I've got Bryan countered a submission into a regalplex, and then he hit 2 running knees, got the win.
But he didn't win with the
technical
hold.
Right, he won with the strike.
He's not the greatest technical wrestler in the world or something.
Right. So that's something that Zack can still kind of hang over Bryan's head, Bryan gets the win, but Zack gets the moral win, But guys, this was a wrestling match.
I gave it 5.5 stars.
I gave it 5.25. I thought it was fantastic, and it was incredible. It was great to watch, and if you want to see true, just pure wrestling, you want to go check this match out.
The best technical wrestling match you'll ever see.
Maybe.
That I've seen.
Yeah, maybe. I might could see that, for sure. Then next we went to the Don Callis family
versus the Blondies is how I put it, because they're
the
Golden Lovers and Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
What do they call it? The Golden Jets.
Yeah. So apparently Jericho actually, in the media scrum, he said this. He actually filed for that as a trademark for him and Kenny to have as a team name.
So
it was the Golden Jets, and so that's interesting. We'll see how that goes moving forward.
Kylie's asleep. That's not fair.
Right, but just to start this off, I just want to acknowledge how awesome Judas is.
Oh, if you watched the live stream, we turned it into a concert.
Yeah. I loved his theme song in WWE, but Judas
it's just better.
Is way better. But
And
Kenny,
don't forget, Don Callis and them came out with the Last Supper.
oh yeah, dude,
on the
yes,
screen.
dude. On the,
And it was their faces with the rest of them blurred
yeah,
out.
on the Tron, it was like it was the Lord's Last Supper, and it had Don Callis as Jesus Christ, and then it had Sammy, Takeshita, and Ospreay as 3 disciples, and then the other
All those guys were
disciples
blurred out.
were blurred out. So
Hitting up more members.
maybe
As long as they have Jericho in the Judas spot, that's all I care
right,
about.
right. I mean, there's only one person that can be the Judas. You know what I'm saying?
The guy
So-
with the name, theme song named Judas.
Yeah. So, but Kenny and Ospreay started things off. They had some great wrestling. Sammy tagged himself in, seemed to irritate Ospreay a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Showboated a whole
a whole lot, yeah.
Did a little Shawn Michaels little on the ring thing, but he slipped.
Yeah. Well, you know, Sammy does that in
I know.
every match, but like, yeah, he almost fell. And then Jericho, Omega, and Ibushi did it's like where they all jumped outside of the ring
All
at
the
the same
vaulting
time,
presses
and they did the Inoki, the Inoki phrase, I guess, before they jumped or whatever.
the one that Tony Khan did awkwardly at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. But
Tony Khan's
Ibushi,
weird.
Ibushi and Omega hit their stereo moonsaults outside the ring, and at the same time, Jericho hit a lion salt inside the ring.
The best line song he's hit in a while.
Yeah, that was a really nice spot in the match.
Yeah.
I thought the visual of it was really good. Takeshita hit Germans on everybody.
Yeah, my first note is I'm pretty sure Ibushi just died.
Yeah, because he dropped Ibushi
On his
right
head.
on his head.
And Ibushi was laying on the apron
For a long time.
like 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
then when he finally stood up, he was leaning on the apron, walking around the
Yeah.
apron like this to get to the other side where he's supposed to be.
Yeah, I was genuinely concerned for a second.
Yes.
Let's so you know, Omega hit an absolutely beautiful Hurricane Rana. Sammy hit that shooting star press to the outside.
That was beautiful. But
And
pause. real
that
quick.
was fantastic.
We
Okay.
forgot to mention something in the 4-way tag match.
What?
Ray Phoenix got hurt.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, Ray Phoenix apparently is legit hurt.
They took him out like he just disappeared halfway through the match. We noticed it, but they didn't show it, so it was a legitimate injury.
Yeah, yeah. So you know, thoughts and prayers to Ray Phoenix. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Because I mean, didn't he just come back
Yes.
from an injury? So I mean,
Because remember, Penta, they had that. I think it was 5 or 6 on 6, whatever.
Yeah.
They had cut it off to 5 members each.
Yeah. yeah. I mean, it was. I feel for the guy because Ray Phoenix is.
He just won the
fantastic
international
wrestler.
title.
Just won the title.
They're saying the title's
Fantastic
cursed
wrestler.
now, of course.
Yeah, of course they are. But I mean, it's only 2, so.
When he gets to 3, we start saying that.
Yeah. So anyway.
Back to the shooting star press. That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes, Sammy hit this beautiful shooting star press on the outside of the ring. That was absolutely gorgeous. Sammy then hit the code breaker onto Jericho.
Who kicked out before 1.
Yeah,
They made sure we knew it was before 1.
yeah,
And we thought that was going to be it because it's a long time to the match.
yeah, yeah.
Jericho's pretty out of it.
Mm.
And he kicks out before 1.
Yeah.
It was the callback to Kenny Omega kicking out of the One-Winged Angel.
Mm-hmm. And then that is when Kota Ibushi emerged
Finally.
and went Super Saiyan on everyone. Him and Takeshita exchanged blows, which got me really hyped because that was just. Some of you may not know this, but Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi came up in DDT together. Takeshita,
As the Golden Lovers.
yeah, Takeshita was just a little youngin at the time, but he also came up in DDT.
He was starting out his career when they were like
when
a few years into it.
Yeah, they had already established themselves.
They were veterans.
Yeah. And Takeshita talked about how, he always felt like he was kind of chasing them and all that. So there's story there.
Living in their shadow.
And, and that got me really hyped. But then Ospreay hit that absolutely beautiful, twisting moonsault.
Like the Starship Pain, but standing
Yeah.
to the outside.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And Jericho.
Oh, she told us to throw some at her. She goes to sleep, didn't she?
Did she?
Yeah, she said if she starts snoring like that, they'll throw something at her to wake her up. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it's just one time. We can edit that part.
No, we can't. We're talking in it. Continue.
All right. Where was I? Beautiful twisting moonsault.
There we go.
And then Jericho hit a Rana off the top rope.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Which was wild.
And it looked good.
It did. And then I wanted to mention this. Honestly, this match started picking up really suddenly. So like, I was trying to keep up with everything that was happening, and as I'm trying to keep up, I'm like, wait, this spot just happened, and I'm trying to remember it. But I eventually fit it in. I couldn't remember what order it was in the match, so I just wrote it in somewhere. But at one point, Sammy hit that standing Spanish fly.
Yeah, that was after
Jericho.
That was after the Hurt Run, I think.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, it was
Jericho
a nice
was
spot.
running at him, and Sammy was like half there, and then
Yeah.
just also Spanish fly.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really nice spot too. Kind of surprised that Jericho was able to take it. No disrespect to Jericho, but you know, he's
pretty
getting up
old.
there. He's getting up there. But then Jericho went for the walls of Jericho, but Don Callis
Hit Jericho with his own bat,
and Sammy pinned Jericho,
like we said.
just like we said. This match was all over the place, but it was fantastic nonetheless. I gave it 5 stars.
4.75.
Really close.
It was really good.
It was a really good match.
She's awake.
The next match was Aussie Open versus FTR.
Yeah, this is where I quit taking
titles.
notes, so I'm out.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to go back and rewatch this match. Because I know that I wasn't quite as invested in it.
This is when we were like 5 hours in or something like that.
Well, yeah, and
And
also
we in Fantasy League, we were like trying to get updates with it.
I was in a very close game in fantasy football, and there was a certain quarterback named Patrick Mahomes that
We pulled up the Chiefs game on my phone during this.
if he failed me because he decided to slide down on the 2-yard line instead of run in for the touchdown, and I lost by 2 points.
Which a touchdown would have got you.
So I'm salty, but it's okay. I will go back and rewatch this match. I still gave it 4.75. I thought it was
4.25.
I thought it was a very good tag team.
Aussie Open impressed me.
I've been trying to tell you, man. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Aussie Open is the real deal, man. They're the real deal. But there was a really nice spot where Aussie hit that assisted sit-out powerbomb.
Yeah.
Cash got
That was pretty, but almost
it was
dangerous.
almost it was almost bad.
He landed a little towards his back.
It was kind of awkward, but it was a nice spot nonetheless. Cash got a very beautiful back suplex off the top rope, and then Dax hit those triple Germans, and it was like when he was going for the third one of the other guys can run in, so he hit a back body drop, and then hit the third one. Aussie hit the Aussie Arrow for a very near fall, and I kind of thought they were going to win for a second. And then Dax hit that slingshot powerbomb that he does, got a near fall. FTR hit their suplex into the body splash.
Yeah.
And then the guy from Aussie Open hit that cross body.
Onto Dax,
Yeah.
onto the pin.
Yeah, and broke up the pin. And then there was a super shatter machine. And that's how the match ended. It was
You forgot. Aussie Open hit a shatter machine, too.
That's right. Yeah, they did. But yeah, I gave it 4.75. I thought it was a really good match. The reason why I gave it that high is because I know that I wasn't quite as invested as I normally would be, and I still, with me not being invested, I would have gave it 4.25. So I was like, I'll go up a little bit.
I gave it 4.25.
So I gave it 4.75 because I know I probably would have rated it higher, if I was actually watching the whole match. But ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to
Our main event of the evening.
the main event. It was everyone's favorite father, the father of the year, Christian Cage.
Who, untraditionally, they made us know this for a fact, came out first.
He did come out first.
They kept saying untraditionally like it matters.
Well, because don't the champion usually come out
They get
second?
to pick. And
Okay.
most people pick last.
Okay, I got you. But
Most
Christian-
heel champions pick last.
Right.
Yes.
So Christian Cage was taking on Darby Allin, and it was in Darby's hometown of Seattle, Washington, and it was a 2 out of 3 falls match. You know the crowd was heavily in Darby's corner.
They didn't like our father.
Huh?
They didn't like our favorite father.
They didn't, but I love him. Darby gave his skateboard
To a kid that appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't even see him at first. It was like he walked over, had the skateboard, and I was like, who is he giving that to? And then all of a sudden the camera just said, whoop, and there was a kid. And I was like, oh my God, I hope his parents are alive. Because Christian Cage was there.
Mm-hmm.
But Darby got the first fall with the roll-up bridge.
Fun fact, he pulled Christian's sweater over Christian's head, then rolled him up for the pin.
Oh, okay. So he cheated. What a guy.
I mean, it's his clothes. It's not cheating.
Well, fair enough.
That's like saying Bianca's cheating every time she uses her hair.
I kind of think she does. But Nick Wayne's mother was ringside, and I'm just gonna say it, man. I think she's into Christian Cage, man.
I don't think so anymore.
I think she is.
You know, she threw the water in his face, so she was flirting with him, but then she was like, "Nah, psych."
No, she wanted.
She just wanted to make him wet.
She wanted Christian Cage to be her daddy. If you know what I mean.
She just wanted to make him wet. That's all it was.
College gonna hate us.
She sure is. That's why I'm glad she's asleep. She's not gonna listen to us talk.
Yeah, I know. But Christian then slapped the holy crap out of Darby.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, and then Darby had a whole bunch of near falls, and Christian just got tired of it, so he just threw him out of the ring. And, I mean, why not? It's a smart thing to do. That's what I do.
Then he moved the steel steps and then went downhill from there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Brutal.
it was rough. I mean, it was really rough.
I thought Darby legitimately broke his arm.
Yeah. No, for real. Because, like, when he went for the... So, okay. Christian, like, sent Darby into the announce table. And
That
then
was bad, too.
after that, he went and grabbed the steel steps and kind of, like, repositioned them.
Over there by the ramp.
Yeah, so...
But the step parts were facing
Yeah,
the ring.
yeah. And so, Christian hit, like, I guess it was like a falcon, kind of like a falcon arrow.
It's like a body slam.
Yeah, like onto the outside. Darby just missed. But then he said, you know what? I think I'm going to do it into the steps. And
Well, he did on the ground first. Like,
Yeah,
he was
that's
on the
what I'm
ground,
saying.
then threw him on the steps.
Yeah.
Then he went to the apron and was like,
Mhm.
yeah, might as well.
Yeah, and then he just slammed him onto the steps. And the way Darby landed, it was like his
On his side.
His arm was like underneath him.
Yeah.
And he landed on the steps, with his arm underneath
On the
him.
corner of one of the steps.
Yeah, it looked really rough.
And then Christian got back in the ring and told the ref to count to 10.
Yeah, and so Christian got the second fall by a count out, and I mean, it's smart. It's smart.
And then the match pretty much stopped because the referee refused to count. We went to check on Darby Allin. Then one of the producers, I think, came down to check on Darby.
Yeah, there was a bunch of people out there checking on Darby. They brought
And
the
then-
stretcher out.
And they were refusing to let Christian near him. And then Christian started taking the canvas off the ring.
Yeah.
Which is he was untying all the ropes on the bottom, like under the ring.
Yeah.
So he can pull the mat up.
And just
And then just let him walk right beside Darby, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, it was
Like,
like
you
the
can't
whole
come
time,
near him unless you're taking the
the
ropes
whole
off.
time he's just like walking behind him and everything. But like he exposed the wood
On half the ring.
on half of the ring. They got Darby onto the stretcher. And when they put him on the stretcher, Christian was like, okay, now that I got this exposed, let me just get up here,
On the top rope.
down the top rope, and just casually hit a frog splash onto Darby Allin while he was on the stretcher.
And then the stretcher fell on top of him, too.
And I thought that was just the funniest thing.
And then Christian got tangled up in the mat that he pulled off the ring. Did you see that?
Wait, what?
The foam mat,
Uh-huh.
not the actual gray part.
Right.
He pushed it outside the ring towards where Darby was,
Mm.
and when he was trying to roll from away from the stretcher, he was rolling into the foam. So like he eventually got out from under the foam on the other side of the ramp.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude. I did not notice that actually.
You were typing probably.
Probably so. But Christian got him back into the ring, and hit the kill switch, or the Imperial, whatever you want to call it, onto the exposed wood. And I thought for sure that was it.
Darby kicked out.
The little rascal kicked out. Darby went for a move, but Christian countered into a Scorpion Deathlock. But Darby got the rope break on that one. And then Darby hit Christian with the Scorpion Death Drop.
He like pushed Christian to the middle rope, like middle turnbuckle or something, and called him into the Scorpion Death Drop.
Yeah.
And then hit him with the coffin drop.
Mm-hmm.
Onto the exposed. All this on the exposed wood.
And Christian kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
He kicked out. And then he went for it again, went for the coffin drop again, but Christian stopped it, went for a superplex to the outside, but that got countered. And then Christian hit the sunset flip
Oh, yep.
onto the wood, went for the spear, he missed.
Of course, hit the referee.
Mm-hmm.
Referee goes down.
Yeah.
Referee dies.
And Christian hit him with the Shinsuke Nakamura. Hit him in his Big Johnson. Well, I say Big Johnson. I don't know. Maybe it's a Little Johnson.
Darby is a pretty small guy.
He is. But he grabbed his title. He celebrated a little bit. He went to go whack him in the head. But then, as we said earlier, remember, Nick Wayne was not done on this night. Nick Wayne pulled up with his mother at ringside. He grabbed the title from Christian Cage.
Smacks Darby in the face.
Sure did. Hometown kid turned on the hometown kid. Nick Wayne whacked Darby right in the head with that title. And, of course, Christian went for the pin.
Referee counted.
Got the 1, 2, 3.
3.
Fantastic match. Shocking ending at the end. I gave it 5 stars.
4.5. The wrestling wasn't really good, but it was the gimmick and like everything else.
Well,
like,
I think that another thing that really helped it was the shock at the end of Nick Wayne turning on Darby. That was really a surprise to me. I didn't see that coming.
Speaking of shock.
Speaking of shock.
Get into all the after.
Christian and Nick Wayne began jumping Darby Allin.
Then who's to come out?
Sting came out and started going after Nick and Christian.
Sting was walking very slowly, though.
Yeah, Luchasaurus came down, went after Sting, and then they all started just jumping Sting, and the show was over.
No, it was not. They went and got the chairs.
Oh, yeah, they went and got the chairs and went for the spot that took out
Concerto.
a certain wrestler a while back in the other promotion. And then the lights went out. They forgot to pay the light bill.
I guess so.
But then they
Everybody
quickly
was
got it back on.
It says something about a feature presentation.
Yeah. And then there was some kind of man in a car. And
He was driving down through Seattle.
Yeah, and for some reason on the road it said rated R.
I don't know why.
Me either. And that's
weird.
how the show ended. Just kidding.
Then they asked if we thought we know him. Is that what they said?
Yeah, I think so. You think you know him. And then this young and upcoming guys, Edge is in AEW.
Well, that's not his name.
As Adam Copeland, the rated R superstar Adam Copeland.
No, Taz said the rated R superstar.
He did say that. But Adam Copeland.
Okay, remember, Tony Khan's going to get mad at you.
Yeah, so who was it that called him Edge?
MJF.
Was it MJF?
Yes, because he said Edge, Malachi Black, Adam Copeland.
Yeah. So Adam Copeland pulled up, and
literally pulled up in a black
in a muscle car, and
with two Metalingus.
He's got his theme song. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Then he slowly walks to the ring.
Yeah.
Gets in the ring and tells Christian to hand him the chair. So, of course, Edge being the ultimate opportunist, smacks Nick Wayne in the back.
And then took out
Luchasaurus,
yeah. Christian ran.
Yeah, Christian's like, nope, I know how he is, I'm out.
Christian was like, yeah, I'm skedaddling. So that's how the show went off the air. Edge, Darby Allin, Sting,
All
three.
shook hands.
Yeah, all three in the ring. Also, just before we conclude this video, I wanted to include Edge stated in the media scrum that he is going to be
Full time. On
in
Dynamite
AEW.
and Collision.
Yeah,
This week.
yeah. And so he's going to be showing up on Dynamite and Collision this week. And then the next week, he's going to be, I believe it's the next week, he's going to be having a match on Dynamite against Luchasaurus.
Yep.
So.
And he mentioned a bunch of superstars, well, wrestlers he wanted to face.
Yeah, he said that just whenever he looked at the roster, just taking a glance, he saw 14 names, which was very specific. But he mentioned he mentioned Kenny Omega, Samoa Joe. He was very persistent on Samoa Joe.
Yes. Sting.
So that's interesting. Sting. I mean, it was ludicrous to see Edge and Sting in the same ring.
He said it was the first time in 31 years they've ever been in the ring together. He's been in the business 31 years, has never been in the ring with Sting.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
It is crazy, dude. But you think about it though, like, you know.
He got hurt in like 2012,
Yeah, Sting was
2011.
but Sting was always a WCW guy.
in TNA. He
Uh-huh.
refused to go to WWE
Yeah.
until like 2018, 2017.
No, it was
2016
It was
maybe.
before that. It was like 2015 or 16.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I mean that's.
By the time Edge came back, Sting was gone.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, just think about the talent there right now, man.
That's something in my eye.
I mean, and another thing about Edge.
Pretty much anybody on this card.
Yeah, another thing about Adam Copeland. Sorry.
Yeah, so you can't say Edge, Josh.
Is not only is he going to be a full-time wrestler, but just think about how long he's been in the business, how he
31
can
years.
contribute behind the
His-
scenes as
my eye.
well.
And he's very creative.
Yes, and they also hinted that maybe he will be involved with some of the kind of helping out some of the younger guys, you know, with helping them out with storylines and ideas and that sort of thing, creative, and so that'll be nice. That'll be fun, and yeah, I mean that was a phenomenal pay-per-view. AEW knocked it out of the park again.
I gave Edge debuting 10 stars.
10 star.
Check out our TikTok.
Yeah.
We got hype.
Yeah. So we got a short. Do we have a short uploaded yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Our phone died.
Okay. Well, we're gonna try to get a YouTube short uploaded here soon of our reaction to Edge's debut. We already have it up on TikTok
All three of our TikTok. My TikTok, your TikTok, and the
Bearded
Beard
Bros
Blow.
Wrestling. Bearded Blows.
Yeah. I don't know if you said that or I said
What you been doing in your free time?
that.
dude?
I'm tired, Josh. Leave me alone.
So, anyways, guys,
Let
that
her go to sleep now, boss. Oh, wait, she's asleep.
she's asleep.
That's not fair.
So, guys, that is our review and ratings of
Wrestledream.
Wrestledream. That's what it's called. And what would you rate the show overall, Dylan, out of 1 through 5 stars?
Rated R. Superstar.
Rated R. I like it. That's what we're gonna go with. AEW Wrestledream.
It is rated R because
Rated
John
R.
Moxley's mouth.
Yeah, for real. But yeah. So, anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Go look at our live stream just to see our reactions from Edge's debut. Check out our videos coming up this week. We got a quiz coming up Wednesday, and then we've got a predictions video for Fastlane.
on Friday.
And then we're going to be live streaming Fastlane.
On Saturday.
And then we're going to be doing a review of Fastlane.
Either Sunday or Monday.
Either Sunday or Monday. So a lot of content coming your way, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the YouTube channel. And until next time, Bearded Bros Wrestling, out.
Wait, who's gonna hit the end button? Guys, we don't know what to do.
Just stay still.
Are they still here? I think they're still here.
I think they're still here.
Are they gone yet? I would have left.
I would have left too. That light is starting to hurt my eyes.
Okay, it's in the thrill. I don't know what they did.
I'll do it.
Okay.
You just gotta be very still.
It's like a T-Rex. They see motion.
Where's my shoe? Where's my shoe?
I don't know. Where are my shoes?
I don't know. Stay right there, guys.
We're coming. Well, he's coming. I'm not moving. I might hurt my hip again.
Bye bye.